Recently, a dear lady from Michigan, 92 years old, her name is Mary, sent me a little book titled Only an Instrument. And at first I didn't know what it was, but later I had time to read through it. And it was her conversations with Father Clifford Soyson when she was living in Arizona and he was retiring there. Well, Father Clifford Soyson was in Ohio. He knew young Rita Francis Rizzo, who would become Mother Angelica. He knew all of the situations in which she was healed as a teenager, 19 years old, miraculously healed of this, what was called a fallen stomach, and how she just wanted to give her whole life to God after that. In fact, he helped her to spread these Sacred Heart badges and also devotion to Saint Therese. It was during a novena to Saint Therese that Rhoda Wise, whose cause is progressing actually for canonization, that Rhoda Wise had suggested that young Rita Rizzo, who had this terrible stomach problem, she could hardly digest anything. It would just sit there in her stomach. She had to wear this support when she was vertical, and when she laid down, she would take it off. It was just a terrible situation for her. And Rhoda Weiss suggested that she make a novena to Saint Therese, and it was during that novena that little Rita Francis Rizzo at the age of 19 was completely healed. And so these are the recollections of Father Soyson, and a lot of interesting details of how after this her life changed. She said that before that she was lukewarm really in her Catholic faith, but then she said, sometimes I feel like I'm going to die. I love the Lord so much. And May, her mother, thought that maybe Rita was going a little too far in her love for the Lord. And she would find her sometimes at night kneeling and praying in her room because they shared a bedroom where they were. But I think that's how we can understand the life of Mother Angelica. You have to go back there, that it was the Lord's initiative, revealing His love for her, that He always had for her, and then her response to that great love, that she wanted to spread devotion to the Sacred Heart, to Saint Therese, to make him more loved, the one who had revealed his love to her, and that now she was smitten, if you will, with his love. But I think that's a message for all of us, just that basic story about Mother Angelica and how she just spent her whole life. How can I make him more known and loved? How can I help others to come to the Lord and experience his great love, his profound love? And to think about that in your own life, that the Lord has loved you first. I love those words of Pope Benedict that he wrote in his first encyclical on God is Love, that God has loved you first. St. John tells us that in his first letter. But he says he does so every day. Each and every day, God loves you first. And then how are we going to respond to that love? And if we do respond to that love by living our life in a way that's pleasing to Him, then what happens is that not only our life changes for the better, but those around us, their lives change for the better too. And so what happened in Mother Angelica's life, here she was, she's growing up in this wrong side of the tracks in Canton, Ohio, and she's not even sure, what's going on in her own life, her own troubled life with the divorce of her parents and so on. But now her life changes. It becomes this remarkable adventure where she serves the Lord. She grows in this intimacy with the Lord, and it affects her mother, May. Her mother, May, eventually joins her community here in Irondale, and Mother would say she died a holy death. Her own father, who had abandoned her and her mother when she was just a child, came to the monastery to apologize to her, and he changed his life in so many ways. So you see, my dear people, the answer in the question of Mother Angelica and the remarkable things that she has done is Jesus. His initiative of loving her, loving you first, and then how she responded with everything she had. And so it is for us. And when we do that, our lives are enriched all the more, as well as those around us. They're drawn to that light, who is Jesus Christ.